In today's video, we're actually playing a best of 3 against the Clash Royale League World Champion Mugi. We had to play in the Bradshaw Cup fights against each other in the lower bracket. So the loser's out, the winner still goes on and has the chance to win. The golden ticket to qualify directly to the Clash Royale League World Finals and still has the chance to win $20,000. What happens at the end and how insane the game is gonna be against the arguably best Clash Royale player in the world. This is what you're gonna see today, and I can tell you already, it's gonna blow your mind. If you guys enjoy this type of gameplay, make sure to use Creator Good Morning Shop. I really appreciate the support for sure. Also with the upcoming update, new soon. So thank you so much for supporting me, and I would say let's directly jump to the games. What I can tell you already is where we're starting in the games. This is going to be the best gameplay ever, or one of the best gameplay ever, one of the closest gameplay ever. So it's a best of 3. Winner goes on. I mean, I think it's the lower bracket semi-finals, so it's like top 4. And yeah, it's just absolutely insane arena. So honestly, deck picks wise, it's always important. I mean, I can tell you, I would say it's like 70-30 matchup skill, I would say, in the top of that for sure. It's always matchup dependent. I mean, there are matchups which are outplayable, but there are also matchups which you can not win if you face a good player. So I'm just gonna go for guards opposite lane. Why? Because I know he doesn't have Skelly King and Cycle, so at least we are getting a ton of damage already with the guards. So why did I play Lockbait and Phantom? We kinda, I had like with my analyst or like coach, we kinda thought about a deck which I didn't play before, because we thought maybe Mugi is gonna try to kinda snipe this deck. So we went with a deck, maybe I could have logged this, which he didn't really expect. And also Mo, we have like the same analyst, played this deck before against Mugi, and this deck did really well against. I mean, Mugi played Hog Log Cycle, so Mugi, Mohammed lost, but it was like the only real deck which countered, and we kinda, I mean, you kinda need to take a gamble, right? And we thought, okay, Mugi started once with his only real counter, or really hard counter against Bait, so he's not gonna start again with it, especially because he knows I have an analyst. So we start with Bait, normally not really the play you want to do, because it's a dual format. You can just use every single card once. So yeah, going with Bait, if like every single spell is open at the start, is kind of risky, but I mean, also you need to take risk if you're facing a Clash Royale World Champion, right? So I mean, not bad for the content creators. So I'm just gonna go for Electrospirit here in the back, and now I'm just gonna go for my barrel here. Actually, I think he saw that. Yeah, he saw it, and it's gonna be an insane game. It's gonna be close, like as close as it can get. So just go for the Ferto here. Honestly, really perfect. This, and now I'm just gonna go for a really high Valkyrie. This Valkyrie was really game saving. I think I would still say I'm one of the best Bay players. So that was honestly a really good Goblin Bowl. When you know your opponent doesn't have a Barbarian Bowl and Cycle, and also he doesn't have his Barbarian Bowl and Cycle, and also his yeah, Tornado. You can always go for the normal spot here, especially you kind of need to do it, right? Because otherwise he's just gonna play his how's it called? Yeah, Skelly King, if you play it on one side, because the Skelly King is just, yeah, Skelly King is just OP. So right now I'm just gonna, I could have rocketed that because he played a really aggressive lightning, but I prefer to go on really aggressive here and maybe try to outcycle him here. This is at least what I did here. So I'm just gonna go in for this. I'm just gonna go for, I don't really think I need a log yet. So he goes in for a perfect tornado placement. So I think in this situation I'm just deciding to go in for rocket here. Why I did that? Because I just had to keep up with damage, right? Otherwise I would have been like lost the game straight up, I feel like. And also, as you guys can see, I'm just gonna pressure with Bell that he cannot lightning. We would have been so far. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to get damage, right? Sometimes like rocket is the only way to get damage on tower, even if you have a big elixir trade with elixir advantage with Golem. With Lockbait, you cannot really punish the opponent. This is like kind of difference between Golem and Lockbait, right? If you have an elixir advantage with Golem, you can always punish them, right? So I'm just gonna go for this. I'm just gonna go for my guards here and perfect E-Spirit. And as you guys can see, this is already like kind of flawless even. So that was honestly a really bad Dark Home. I wanted to play to the right, but this is like kind of a small thing which hurt me a lot, because now the Dark Home is really wasted. So I'm just gonna go for guards here, and now I think I'm just gonna go in for my Inferno Tower here. I'm just gonna go this. Honestly, not too bad. I'm just gonna go in for my, yeah, that was honestly a really bad barrel. I shouldn't play the barrel like that. So as you guys will see, this is going to be really, really tough. He's just going to spam everything. I don't get a good rocket in the situation. So he just goes in Dark Golden. I get the Fair Tower down last second. And yeah, it's kind of getting spicy here. Now I'm just going to go in for my Valkyrie here to tank this. Now I'm just going to go in for my Log here. Log didn't clean up everything, so you can see how broken really Skeleton King is. But I get a perfect E-Spirit down. And now it's going to be a spicy defense. So I'm just going to go for my really high guards here. And I actually just need one more rocket. But I cannot really play the rocket. So I'm just going to go for this here. Just going for that. And I think this situation, I'm just going to go barrel here, still defend this. And we're actually winning this game. This was one of the best defensive sequence of my life and got us the 1-0 advantage with everything on the line. Mugi has to win the next game to still stay in the cup. So for the next game, I decided to go in for Hawk Archkin. Honestly, the matchup was fine or was good. I mean, the Ghost at Prince combination was a bit annoying and... yeah, I mean, the Prince was really annoying in this matchup, but I still think I could have won this, but also it's going to be, once again, awesome defensive sequence which are happening. It's going to be so close. I'm just going for my Knight here. I kind of thought that he knew that I have no NATO because, I mean, if you face a snowball, like 99% you don't have NATO, so I thought he goes mine on the back, but he didn't. So, this is kind of annoying always. If you don't have, like, best counters and cycle, it's always kind of interesting that the Ghost doesn't get, like, hit by that. It's quite interesting. But yeah. So I'm just go for my Archer Queen here. I think the sequence I'm just gonna go Skeletons to surround this. And you always want to be like the second guy who pulls up the ability to win the 1v1 here. But I think I wasn't, so I need to go for Fire Spirit here. And this was already like the first, yeah, maybe the first mistake for me that I went like, that wasn't optimal play, especially now. This was like kind of first mistake for me. I shouldn't have the ability. This is like the kind of small things which are costing you a ton of stuff or puts you in a bad position. So also, I played my snowball here, didn't expect a wall break, and we kind of already lost the game in the sequence. So this is what like kind of small things cost you. He got a bit more value out of his Archer Queen, and this kind of cost us, right? Just because he got a bit of value out of his Archer Queen. This like put us in elixir disadvantage. We had to do moves which we didn't want to do. So that was actually really, really bad. So I'm just going for Skeletons here. Honestly, once again, we need to play defensive Hawk Rider, which I don't want to play in this situation. At least he didn't have the best counters, but I mean, he's now back to Mega Knights. He's going to Mega Knight here. But still, not really happy about that. Yeah, kinda unlucky, I guess. So I'm just gonna go for a Knight now, using my ability to retarget it. I think that's fine. But the problem is I don't really have like the good mine answers. Most of the time I need to go for my Knight on top of the tubes, like on the Prince, on the Ghost, and then going for Skellies in the back. But then he's just gonna zap that, right? So it's kind of a problem. I'm just gonna go cycling a Q because I don't really want to go same lane. I'm just going for my Knight in the back. Let's go Skeletons here, and he just drops his MK at the bridge. Why did he do that? Kind of simple, because he scared the queen in the opposite lane, so I couldn't pressure. So as you guys can see, the problem is kind of that he gets a ton of damage with his miner. I still got like now a solid elixir lead, so I'm just go Hawk plus Skeletons opposite lane. I think this sequence, I'm just going to use my ability here. The ability actually gets a good amount of value here, so I'm kind of getting some damage back. I still need to defend the Prince, which is kind of annoying. Prince is just so annoying. So generally, I would say the matchup isn't really that bad. I could have really easily should have won this. Or could have won this, especially with Archer Queen on defense. But he played it absolutely insane, and the start kind of, yeah, hurt us a bit. I mean, a bit more than a bit. So that was honestly also really bad Skeletons, man. Like, I'm doing so many mistakes, but yeah, this is fine. This happens. I mean, it's hard, like especially if you play against a player like Mugi. If you want to play flawless, it's not that easy. So I'm just go for Hawk opposite lane, but he knew he was gonna do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in for my build here. Great ability. Still needs to commit wall breakers at least, which is great. And he kind of still needs to commit something against the Archer Queen, but he doesn't. So I'm just go Hawk defensive here. I'm just gonna go in for Knight here. I'm just gonna Fire Spirit opposite lane here. That was honestly a really bad Queen, so we're still alive. I mean, he just has Zap. He just has Zap. So I know the Knight will be enough to kill that, hopefully. I was just like hoping at the second. At this, yeah. So I'm just gonna go for a Hawk here. I'm just gonna go using my ability. The Tesla was also not perfectly played. So let's go for my knight here. Skeleton, snowball. Tesla is coming down again. We're still alive. Sometimes I'm like thinking this game like how we are still alive, but we actually are. So just go for another snowball here. So just go Hawk Rider. He goes in Mega Knight. I still get one Hawk Rider shot. I was like thinking about going left side. Maybe should have gone left side, but I didn't want to push same lane. I didn't want to push same lane. So I need to defend both sides now, which is quite interesting. So just go Fire Spirit here. Snowball. And Skeletons like this. He goes for a prediction zap. GG's well played. Mugi wins this one 1-1. The winner goes on, the loser's out. And now we're actually seeing one of the best games ever in competitive Clash Royale. Morten versus Mugi. Game 3, everything on the line. I mean, I lost the first game against Mohammed, I think. Then I won against... Who did I win in the lower bracket first? I think it's Hajime. Then I won against Faust. And then I got to facing Mugi. So honestly... This is the games when I'm playing Clash Royale for. I'm not playing the games to face, yeah, I don't know, ladder players with Mega Knight, Ram Rider, or Giant Graveyard, or Expo. These are the games where I'm playing competitive Clash Royale, right? I mean, I'm not on my top level. I will also tell you how I finished at the end. But I know, at a good day, when I get like the right matchups and play my best, I can still beat the best players in the world. So that was honestly a really unfortunate e-spirit for him. So I played this mortar version. Why did we play this mortar version? Because we had arrows in there, which are actually okay against bait, and I just felt like it could be a really solid pick, especially with his bubble, Nado, Baby Dragon out of cycle in the first game, and now we just use Zap Bats. And we also don't need to worry about Archkings anymore, because as I said, you can just use every single card once. So Nado, Barbell out, Zap out. That's not too bad. So, this is not too bad. So I'm just gonna go for my cannon card here. Cleaning it up. I think we get a really, honestly, really solid start. So let's go for Skeleton here. I mean, it's kind of obvious what he wants to do all the time. He wants to go for a prediction log on my barrels, which is smart. I mean, I cannot really go Skelly King because Skelly King is not able to fully prevent all the Goblin Bowl chip. And also, so I'm not just gonna go in for this because he didn't have his E-Spirit and Psychic, so honestly really smart play from us. But we cannot go for Skelly King because Skelly King doesn't count for fully barrel. Also, we kind of need to Skelly barrel on top of the, yeah, against the Valkyrie, against the Dark Goblin, sometimes against the guards. And arrows on defense, I mean, it's an okay play, but I don't really like to do it because then there's no way for me to break through against the Dark Goblins, right? So sometimes I think I go for Inferno Tower, I go for a Mortar just to get like the +1 trade against Inferno Tower. I never want to go card. Plus in, yeah, I never want to really go card plus, how's it called, mortar, because he just gets a rocket. I mean, sometimes maybe I could have been really a bit more aggressive with rockets, with cannon cards. And see, this was, I think I'm going to play the ability, which was horrible. Really bad ability, don't look at that. But maybe I just could have gone for a bit offensive, sometimes with just, yeah, Mortar at the bridge, and when he didn't have Log inside, just Scammy in case he hit Fair Towers. Maybe it would have been a play. But yeah, as you guys will see now, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the push which I'm talking about. This is really annoying. So as you guys can see, he gets a ton of damage. I still need to play Spear Goblin side to distract that. And now we are kind of in a bit of trouble. So I think I'm just go Mortar here. I think he's just going to go this. So I think I'm just going to go in for my bats here. He's just going to Inferno Tower, as I said, and just going for his E-Spirit. This is kind of perfect. Even E-Spirit really key in this match. If he would have had Ice Spirit, it would have been way better for us. So I think this situation, I'm just going to go Miner like this. I knew the Inferno Tower would go for this, but it was like a kind of the only place in which I think he wasn't predicting the second. I just want to cycle Miner. So I knew the Inferno Tower would shoot the Miner, but I still thought, yeah, okay, for this one Miner shot, it could have been worth it. So I'm just go for my arrows here. Just go Bats. I still hope the Cannon Cut survives, and Cannon Cut actually is not surviving there, which is unfortunate. So let's go for Skelly King here. Now I'm just gonna drop, I think I'm just gonna go for another card here. I need to go for Scam. He actually got a perfect prediction here. I mean, this is so obvious, right? But still so good from him. So I'm just gonna go in for, I think, a Mortar here, because the card, the Cannon Card is still alive. So he goes in for a low Inferno, which was a smart play. As you guys can see, low Inferno really puts in a good amount of work here against everything. So he needs to go for Valk. 40 seconds left. He has the rocket, and normally there shouldn't be any way to win this game one, right? Like, how I'm supposed to still break through his. So honestly, that was a really, really good play by me. I'm just gonna go for my bets here. I'm just gonna go in for this here. I'm just gonna go in for my another cannon card here. This is going to be the 22 seconds left. I'm just going for double cannon card here. I'm just going more to opposite lane. He was like, okay, well, how is he going to defend this? I'm just going to go for speed on side. Kind of putting up some split lane pressure on both sides. He goes in for guards. I'm getting the perfect arrows. I mean, not the perfect arrows, but the arrows which I did want to get in a second. So we're going to go back. And this were the arrows I was looking for. I knew I need to go in for predictive arrows on Eastbird. Maybe don't believe me, maybe nobody's gonna believe me, but this was in my head. I knew the bets get a ton for you if I get the Eastbird. So that was like my last chance, going for the predictive arrows on the Eastbird. I mean, people always will tell me that wasn't my plan, but it was actually. I was also trying to get a Dark Golem, but Dark Golem actually walked out of our arrows range because of the skeleton army on the other side. But the really important thing was to get this. Also, his Valkyrie was on the cycle. He just goes in for a Dark Golem. The miner connects, the cannon card connects, and just go for miner in the back. Getting one more chip, two more chips, and this is it. GG's well played. Actually, winning this game after this really, really tough situation. Mugi played this absolutely insane. At the end, we were still able to win this. And yeah, if you guys want to know what I finished at the end, I finished number 3. So didn't win a gold ticket, still won 6k. And I would say not too bad for a content creator.